Titles don't perform. Functions do. Write this down. Say it again until it offends your old thinking. Titles don't perform. Functions do. My real love is people like you who showed up to work not to be entertained. If I'd call this a miracle show, this room would be packed. But because I said we will correct your leadership in 2025, a smaller, serious tribe came. Good. Jesus didn't trust crowds. He trained a few. You are those few. And I'm going to talk to you like builders. Write this down. High performance in 2025 is built by functions and flow, not names on boxes. That's why some of you are frustrated. You hired names. You printed business cards. You rearranged the org chart twice this year, and nothing changed. Because names don't move, work functions do. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them, Matthew 7:16. He did not say, by their badge, their seat, or their parking space. Fruit is function. Fruit is value expressed. Fruit is measurable leadership. Let me announce a holy insult to your comfort. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Leadership is born when toleration ends. You've tolerated title addiction long enough. That's why the engine of your organization is coughing. Write this down. Tolerated dysfunction becomes institutional culture, and culture will always cancel strategy. You can buy software, hire a consultant, and do an off-site retreat. If you still worship titles, you will crucify performance and then pray over the tomb. Who's the leader? Let me ask a better question. What is leading? In 2025, leadership is not a throne. It is a set of functions carried by people who accept assignments. Genesis 1:26 says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Not let them have titles. Dominion is function rad. To rule by managing outcomes. Write this down. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assignments are functional, not ceremonial. That's why some of you feel dead behind fancy titles. You've confused ceremony with assignment. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Say it with me. Your job is temporary. Your work is permanent. A title can be taken in a memo. A function is carried in your spirit, and if they fire you, your function goes with you. That is why we are going to build teams by function, not by hierarchy. Leaders don't beg for followers. Followers are attracted to functioning leaders. Lions don't need titles in the jungle. They carry an attitude and a function. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. If your belief system is rank-based, your organization will be blind and proud. And Jesus warned, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Vision is more important than leadership. Write that down. Because leadership without vision is management of confusion. Let me give you a picture. Stop staring at your org chart like it is sacred scripture. I want you to open the hood of a car. Under that hood, nothing is a boss. Everything is essential. The alternator doesn't hold staff meetings for the pistons. The spark plug isn't senior to the belt. Each part has a function, and every function must flow in time. A $4 terminal wire can stop a $90,000 car. Write that down. Small functions carry great consequence. Who's the lead in the engine bay? No one. And everyone. Say it with me. No one. And everyone. Importance is contextual. Influence is earned by delivering your function on time, in tune, without ego. Some of you are clapping, but I don't want your claps. I want your conversion. The Holy Spirit hovered over chaos in Genesis 1. An order began when function began. And God said, and it was so, and it was good. Nothing happens until the function turns on. Same with your team. You don't have a people problem. You have a function problem. You thought your issue was authority. No, it's clarity. You thought your issue was head count. No, it's assignment count. Write this down. Function precedes position. Assignment before position. And when function is clear, authority is a byproduct called trust. So here is the promise for 2025. We are going to architect leadership as 3 non-negotiable functions that must be owned, measured by fruit, and operated through roles, cadences, and beliefs. These three are vision, value, and velocity. That's the map. That's the diagnostic. That's the engine tune-up. Every problem you have right now is a vision problem, a value problem, or a velocity problem. Don't panic. That's good news. When you can name a thing, you can change a thing. Say it. Name it to change it. But first, I must break the idol of title in your mind. Write this down. Titles are labels. Functions are laws. Labels can peel. Laws keep working. Gravity doesn't need a throne to pull you down. The law of sowing and reaping doesn't need a CEO to schedule harvest time. And the law of leadership is fruit, measurable outcomes produced by deployed gifts. Paul tells us in Ephesians 4 that Jesus gave gifts to men for the building up of the body. Not titles, gifts. Gifts are functions. Apostles function. Prophets function. Teachers function. When they function, the body grows. When they pose with titles, the body swells without strength. Write this down. Culture follows cadence. Cadence follows function. If you get the functions right, we can set the cadence and the culture will heal. If you keep debating titles, you will keep bleeding time. Time is life. Wasting time is slow suicide. That's why there is an urgency in my voice tonight. The year won't slow down to accommodate your confusion. The market won't pause for your insecurity. The future rewards functional leaders who move. I grew up with nothing. I slept on floors. I did not have a title, but I discovered a function clarifying purpose. I began to deploy it like oxygen, and the world began to find me. That's not luck. That's law. Fruit attracts appetite. When your team's fruit becomes undeniable, customers become followers, and competitors become students. Write that down. Fruit is leadership you can't argue with. Now, I want you to speak to your own mind. Put your hand on your chest and say, I am an assignment. I own a function. I serve fruit. My title bows to my function. Again, louder. The world needs you to believe that. Because trapped inside your organization is a high-performing engine waiting for an architect, not a monarch. You are that architect. Stop arranging chairs in a circle to decide who is in charge. Open the hood, identify the functions, install the roles, set the cadence, measure the fruit, repeat. Before we map the three functions, let me leave you with this standard. From this moment, we judge leadership by output, not outlook, by results, not resumes, by fruit, not fame. Write it down. Performance is the proof of purpose, and purpose is functional. In 2025, the teams that fly will be those who stop chasing titles and start architecting flow. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone. We are about to design the engine, vision, value, velocity. And once we tune it, you will not need to beg for momentum. It will roar. Now, get your pen ready. The map is next. Assignment before position. Listen carefully. This is not motivational fluff. This is manufacturing specifications from your creator. Say it with me. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Louder. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Write this down. Purpose precedes position. Assignment precedes appointment. God never began with titles. He began with intention. Open the manual. Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Notice what he does not say. He does not say, let us make man, and let him chase a title. Let us make mankind as a species, and let them have radar, dominion, rulership, authority to manage the earth on behalf of heaven. Dominion is an assignment, not a job description from HR. Your leadership is not born from your department, it is born from your design. Write it down. Leadership originates in purpose, not position. Now, hear me with both ears. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Say it back to me. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. And teams rise when work leads job, when gift commands role. Job is a uniform. Work is your fingerprint. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. If they crown you, your gift is still your only power. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by badges. Fruit is measurable. Value evidence that your assignment is operational. Let me confront you with love. Some of you are dying in a cubicle because your title became your identity. That's illegal. Your business card became your prison. That's injustice you have been tolerating. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Stop tolerating the smallness of a job crushing the largeness of your work. Change the order. Assignment before position. Gift before role. Work before job. Write this down. Titles are tools. They are not identities. True leadership is self-discovery. It is meeting the you God hid inside you. Proverbs 20:5 says, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Your assignment is in the deep. You don't go to a supervisor to find it. You go to your source. And when you discover it, you don't need to seek followers. Followers find fruit. They are attracted to value. Proverbs 18:16. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Your gift is a door opener. Your title is just a label on the door. I remember consulting a team that was famous for meetings and broke in execution. 12 people, big titles, low fruit. They were praying for more authority while hemorrhaging outcomes. I told them God is not going to anoint your confusion. We did a simple exercise. Write this down. Design seats around gifts and outcomes, not seniority. We asked, what is your work? Not your job title, your assignment. One woman, quiet, had a gift of translating complexity into pictures. She was the junior analyst. I said, from now on, she leads communication. No promotion letter, no throne, just deployment. In 30 days, engagement rose. In 60 days, customers understood. In 90 days, revenue followed clarity. What changed? We stopped begging for authority. We started producing fruit. When every person leads with their gift, the team stops asking, may I? And starts saying, here it is. Say with me, I am not employed. I am deployed. Your job is employment. Your work is deployment. Employment is when they use your time. Deployment is when you serve your gift. Employment is seasonal. Deployment is eternal. Ephesians 2:10 declares, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand. Works, the assignment, predates your payroll. Write this down. Never allow a salary to silence your assignment. This is why Genesis 2:15 says, the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden to work it and keep it. The Hebrew word for work there, avodah, is the same word used for worship. Your real work is worship service through your gift to creation for the glory of God and the good of people. That is why you feel dead when you only do your job. Your spirit is hungry for deployment. Fruit is your spirit's oxygen. Let's clear a lie. I need a higher title to lead. Who told you that? That is Egypt talking. Israel left Egypt, but Egypt had to leave their minds. Deliverance is exit. Freedom is identity. You ain't free yet if you still think rank gives you permission to serve your gift. Stop waiting for a crown. David was king before the throne. He led sheep with the same gift he would use to lead a nation. Courage, skill, worship, strategy. Your environment does not make your assignment. Your assignment reforms your environment. Write this down. Start where you are. Serve what you carry. Fruit will subpoena your influence. Team leaders, listen. If you design your org chart by birthdays, pay grades, and years served, you are building a museum, not an engine. We are not curating artifacts. We are generating movement. Build around outcomes. Where is the one with the gift of pattern recognition? Seat them over diagnostics. Where is the one whose words create pictures? Seat them over messaging. Where is the one who turns chaos into cadence? Put them over operations. Gift dictates seat. Seat dictates fruit. Fruit dictates influence. Clarity beats seniority. When your people see that influence is earned by outcomes, not inherited by titles, they will stop politicking and start producing. And to my dear professionals, hiding brilliance under compliance, write this down and tattoo it on your mind. My job may change, but my work cannot. Refuse to bury your seed in the soil of a job description that denies your assignment. Your gift is heaven's solution to a human problem. Somewhere, somebody is dying because your fruit is not on their table yet. That is why there's urgency in my voice. The world is starving for your work. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. The heart is your belief system. If your heart says, I am my title, you will live beneath your assignment. If your heart says, I am a sent one, you will reorder your life. Say it now. I am an assignment. I was sent to solve a problem. My gift is my leadership. My fruit is my evidence. Write this down. Measure leadership by fruit, not chairs. Inspect outputs, not outfits. Ask, what is the undeniable value this person produces repeatedly, predictably, under pressure? That is their leadership lane. Put them there. Protect that lane. Fund that lane. Celebrate that lane. That is employment shifting to deployment. That is how a team stops begging for authority and starts building momentum. Finally, I must warn you with love. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. If you tolerate a culture where titles bully gifts, you will never see dominion. God's order is never insecure. He gave them dominion, plural, distributed, dignified, delegated. Who's the leader? In their lane, no one. And everyone. That is not chaos. That is creation functioning as designed. Stand up on the inside and repeat, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. My job is what they pay me to do. My work is what I was born to do. I will lead with my gift. I will measure by fruit. I will design seats around outcomes. I will deploy myself today. The future is waiting on your work. Bring it. Now, take that conviction and walk with me from the boardroom to the garage, from the org chart to the engine bay. Write this down. Replace hierarchy obsession with functionality obsession. Organized by what must be led, not who must be in charge. The org chart asks, who sits above whom? The engine bay asks, what must fire, in what order, at what timing to produce motion? One builds monuments, the other makes movement. Which one do you want? Open the hood. Look at it. The piston does not take selfies. The spark plug has no followers on social media. The timing belt doesn't convene a quarterly offsite. And yet, without their interlock, nothing moves. The piston compresses. The spark plug ignites. The belt synchronizes. The crankshaft translates. The alternator replenishes. The coolant carries heat away. And a $4 terminal wire grounds the entire electrical system so the whole thing can even wake up. Write this down. Importance is contextual and interdependent. A $4 wire can shut a $90,000 car down. Say it again. A $4 wire can shut a $90,000 car down. That's why titles are dangerous. They seduce you into believing importance is absolute. But in true leadership, importance is defined by assignment and timing. The Apostle Paul said, for as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body. 1 Corinthians 12:12. He asks, can the eye say to the hand, I don't need you? That's an engine-based scripture. Write this down. Everyone is a leader in their area of functioning. Now I will ask you our question. Who's the leader in the engine bay? No one. And everyone, say it with me, who's the leader? No one. And everyone. Leadership is not a throne, it is interlocked function, producing undeniable fruit on time. Let me offend a little religion with loving truth. Toleration is the graveyard of leaders. Stop tolerating roles without results. If you have a belt with a brand new title stamped across it, but it keeps slipping on the pulley, you don't pin a badge to it, you replace it. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them, Matthew 7:16. Not by their rings and robes. Roles without results are rebellions against design. Write it down. We don't reward position, we reinforce performance. Performance means the function is delivering fruit predictably, repeatedly, under pressure. Now, hear the core revelation of 2025 clearly. Design leadership as functions that interlock, not thrones that compete. When thrones compete, timing is lost, energy turns to heat, and the engine seizes. When functions interlock, timing is kept, energy is conserved, and motion increases. That's why Proverbs 29:18 declares, where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Vision is timing. Vision sets the sequence. When vision is absent, people do whatever they want. Belts slip, sparks miss, pistons clash. Jesus warned, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership, because leadership without vision is the management of confusion. Let me give you the 3 essential functions we are going to install and synchronize like an engine tune. Vision, value, and velocity. Vision is direction. It defines the destination, the route, and the why. That's your windshield and your GPS. Value is delivery. It is the torque, useful work emerging from combustion fruit that customers and communities can measure. Velocity is drive. It is the cadence, the transmission, the disciplined rhythm that converts torque into forward motion without burning the engine. Say it with me, vision, direction. Value, delivery. Velocity, drive. One more time, with conviction. Vision, direction. Value, delivery. Velocity, drive. Write this down. Everything that is broken in your team is a vision, value, or velocity issue. If everyone is busy and no one is sure why, you have a vision problem. If plans are clear but fruit is missing, you have a value problem. If fruit appears in bursts and then stalls, you have a velocity problem. Don't call a personality meeting. Open the hood. Name which function is misfiring. Adjust the timing. Change the plug. Replace the belt. That is leadership. Let me tell you a story. A tech company invited me because their senior leadership spent their days in executive meetings while customers spent their nights on hold. The org chart was immaculate. Boxes, arrows, titles that could fill a trophy case. I asked one question, who owns ignition? Blank stares. I said, who owns the moment idea becomes explanation that the customer can understand who fires the spark? Silence. Then a quiet woman in the back whispered, I think that's me, but my title is assistant to product. I smiled. Write this down. Fruit reveals function regardless of title. We put her in the ignition seat, communications of value, no promotion letter, just clarity. We paired her with an engineer who owned compression requirements, made precise. Then we found the $4 wire, a release checklist that grounded every deploy. In 12 weeks, the engine started. Same people, new paradigm. We stopped arguing over thrones. We started tuning functions. Leaders, hear me. Replace questions like, who reports to whom? With questions like, what must be led? Who owns this function? What fruit proves it? What cadence times it? Write this down. Ownership is defined by outcome, not office. If you own vision, your fruit is clarity. Everyone sees the same destination, segment, and standard. If you own value, your fruit is usefulness, customers testify, and metrics shout. If you own velocity, your fruit is flow, work moves without friction, handoffs are clean, and speed increases without chaos. Some of you are afraid. If we make it about function, won't people feel less important? No, they will feel essential. Titles create spectators, functions create stewards. Ephesians 4 says, Christ gave gifts to men to equip the body to work. Gifts are functions. Functions demand stewardship. Stewardship produces fruit. Fruit attracts followership. Lions don't need titles in the savannah. They carry belief and they function as designed. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Change your belief from hierarchy to functionality, and you will change your culture from politics to performance. Write this down. Competition is proof of unclear function. When two belts fight the same pulley, you shred both. Clarity eliminates competition by separating context. The spark plug does not envy the piston. Their glory is in synchronization. Your team's glory is interlock, not spotlight. If you insist on spotlight, you will attract moths and lose eagles. Now, stand up on the inside and make a declaration. Say it with me. We build engines, not empires. We lead functions, not fiefdoms. We measure fruit, not furniture. We synchronize gifts, not egos. Again, louder, so your old mindset hears it. We build engines, not empires. We lead functions, not fiefdoms. We measure fruit, not furniture. We synchronize gifts, not egos. I leave you this standard to carve into your culture. Toleration is the graveyard of leaders. Stop tolerating roles without results. Do not tolerate a pretty title that misfires. Do not tolerate a meeting that doesn't move the work. Do not tolerate a belt that squeals through your Monday and snaps on your Friday. Replace it, tune it, or remove it. Genesis 1:26 was not a memo about hierarchy. It was a mandate for Dominion Radar to rule by managing outcomes on behalf of heaven. Dominion requires function in flow. We are going to map vision, value, and velocity with precision. But tonight, let the paradigm settle from org chart to engine bay, from who is in charge to what must be led, from competing thrones to interlocking functions. Who's the leader? No one and everyone. When you grasp that, the engine of your team will stop coughing and start roaring. And once it roars, you won't have to beg for momentum. It will obey the law of function and pull you forward. Now let's map the work. Open the hood. Look past the chrome and see the three functions that make any team in 2025 roar. Vision, value, velocity. Write this down. Every team problem is a vision, value, or velocity problem. Name it to change it. Say it with me. Name it to change it. If you cannot name it, you will nurse it. But when you name it, you can confront it, design it, and correct it. First, vision, where, and why. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership, because vision defines leadership. Leadership without vision is the management of confusion. Proverbs 29:18 declares, where there is no vision chastened, the people cast off restraint. They lose discipline. They wander. They get tired of your meetings and invent their own priorities. Vision answers two questions. Where are we going? Why must we go there now? Not next year, now. And it must be plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. If they cannot run when they read it, your vision is an essay, not a map. Write this down. Vision must be drawable, repeatable, portable. If your team cannot sketch it on a napkin in under 60 seconds, you do not have a vision, you have a vocabulary. Second, value what we deliver and to whom. Value is your gift converted to fruit. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by their intentions, not by their charisma. Fruit is promise kept so consistently it becomes your reputation. Write this down. Value has two sides, promise and proof. Promise is your clear statement of benefit to a specific person. Proof is the repeatable outcomes that verify your promise under pressure. If your promise is foggy, your sales will be prayer requests. If your proof is weak, your influence will be seasonal. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him, but rooms open because fruit feeds appetite. Who is the person your gift is designed to feed? What pain do they wake up with? What fruit do you place on their table weekly, predictably, measurably? That is value. And value must be priced, protected, and presented. Write this down. Agenda follows appetite. Value funds vision. If it does not feed them, it will not fund you. Third, velocity. How fast and how often? Write this down. Momentum is a math problem. Velocity is cadence, throughput, and recovery speed. Cadence is your rhythm, how often you ship, meet, decide, and inspect. Throughput is how much valuable work exits the pipe per unit of time. Recovery speed is how quickly you return to standard after a hit. The righteous fall 7 times and rise again, Proverbs 24:16. Even the best teams stumble. Great teams recover faster. Velocity is not chaos, it is compassion for your future. A schedule is mercy. A cadence is love for your tomorrow self. When you set a rhythm, you spare your team from last-minute heroics and burnout. God himself modeled cadence. 6 days of work, 1 day of rest. Exodus 20:9-10. That's not religion, that's design. Write this down. Speed with rhythm is excellence. Speed without rhythm is accident. Now listen to the interlock principle. Vision sets the path. Value funds the path. Velocity maintains the path. Say it again. Vision sets, value funds, velocity maintains. If you have velocity without vision, you arrive nowhere faster. That's busy decay. If you have vision without value, you have a beautiful map and an empty tank meetings about destinations with no fuel to get there. If you have value without velocity, you will taste success, then die of inconsistency. Trust is built at the speed of consistency. People don't follow talent, they follow reliability. Write this down. Interlock prevents drift. Each function feeds the other two. Let me translate the engine for you. In the engine bay, the camshaft sets the timing. Vision, the injectors deliver fuel. Value, the crankshaft converts explosions into movement. Velocity, if timing is off, the engine knocks. If fuel is dirty or scarce, the engine starves. If the crank seizes, all power is trapped. Who's the leader in the engine? No one. And everyone, importance is contextual. Leadership is functional. Get the timing right, feed clean fuel, and the whole car hums. Translate that to your team. Set the destination and the why. Define the promise and the proof. Establish the rhythm and the recovery. That's the map. Write this down. Diagnose performance by asking, is our vision clear? Is our value compelling? Is our velocity consistent? This is your weekly mirror. Don't hide from it. If people keep asking, what are we doing again? You have a vision problem. If prospects applaud your pitch but don't convert, or customers don't return, you have a value problem. If work piles up in review, launches slip, and wins are followed by long droughts, you have a velocity problem. Name it to change it. Stop rebuking what you should be redesigning. Heaven does not anoint confusion. Let's get practical in 30 seconds. Vision diagnostics. Can every department state the same destination in the same sentence? Can they explain why the timing matters this quarter? Can they draw the 3 big rocks on a whiteboard without you in the room? If not, vision is assumed, not installed. Habakkuk didn't say whisper the vision. He said write it and make it plain. That means codify the where and the why into pictures, numbers, and deadlines. Value diagnostics. What is the one outcome your ideal person is willing to pay for, fight for, change for? Write it down in a sentence that a 12-year-old understands. Then show me proof, case studies, screenshots, metrics over time. Promise without proof is propaganda. Velocity diagnostics. What is your operating cadence? Daily huddles for 20 minutes. Weekly priorities for 50 minutes. Bi-weekly delivery reviews for 60 minutes. Monthly retros for 90. Set it and protect it. Speed is not an event. It is a habit. Some of you want to complicate this. Don't. Simplicity is genius. Jesus took complex law and summarized it in 2 commandments. Do the same with your operations. Reduce your leadership dashboard to these 3 needles. Vision, clarity, value, strength, velocity, consistency. Keep them in the green. Watch what happens. Opportunities will find you because fruit attracts. Talent will stay because clarity comforts. Investors will trust because cadence reduces risk. Clients will evangelize because value fed their hunger on time. Let me warn you like a father. If you skip vision, you will start measuring motion as progress. You will boast of meetings and hours and hustle, yet the ditch will still be waiting. If you skip value, you will polish branding while starving your market. Your team will become excellent at things that don't matter. If you skip velocity, your good work will die on the runway. Promise delayed becomes promise denied. Write this down. Excellence is promise delivered on time, every time. Say it with me. Vision, value, velocity. Again, louder. Vision, value, velocity. This is not theory. This is law. Genesis 1 is a choreography of this framework. God saw vision. God said and formed value. There was evening and morning cadence, velocity. And he called it good fruit measured. You are made in his image to operate the same way. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your assignment needs a map. This is the map. So starting tonight, no more vague goals. No more pretty decks with no fruit. No more sprinting without rhythm. Write the vision. Make it plain. Define the promise and the proof. Set the cadence and the recovery. And every Monday, ask out loud. Is our vision clear? Is our value compelling? Is our velocity consistent? If any answer is no, don't blame people. Adjust the function. Install the fix. Then say to your own soul, the world needs my work. My gift will become fruit. My fruit will speak. And our team will move not by title, but by vision, by value, by velocity. Let's repair the vision function. Write this down. Clarity of destination eliminates confusion. Until everyone sees it, no one can lead it. Say it with me. Until everyone sees it, no one can lead it. If people are busy without breakthrough, if initiatives grind because every start feels like pushing a car uphill, if departments duel over priorities like rival kingdoms, if progress depends on a charismatic person walking into the room and turning on the lights, your vision function is broken. That is not a personality issue. That is an eyesight issue. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going. Authority without destination is just noise with a microphone. Vision is not poetry. It is a map. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Running is speed, but plain is clarity. If they can't run, you didn't make it plain. If they don't run without you in the room, you didn't install it. You only announced it. Write this down. Vision must be transferable without the messenger. That's why Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision chastened, the people cast off restraint. Restraint is discipline, timing, interlock. Chason isn't vibes. It's precise seeing that produces shared self-control. Here is the simple surgical tool to repair it. One sentence charter. We exist to deliver specific value for specific people by distinct approach so that measurable change. That sentence is not a slogan. It is a contract. Force yourself and your team to fill the brackets with blood-earnest clarity. Not solutions, not excellence, not innovation. Those are fog words. Specific value, name the fruit. Specific people, name the person. Distinct approach, name the how that is uniquely yours. Measurable change, name the proof that removes all debate. Write 10 versions. Argue. Strip adjectives, keep nouns. When you can say it in one breath, you can build it in 1 quarter. Let me model. A healthcare startup, I advise, had dueling priorities. Engineering wanted speed. Compliance wanted safety. Sales wanted promises. Everything moved when the CEO spoke. Nothing moved when he traveled. I made them draft the charter. After 3 hours of wrestling, they produced. We exist to deliver same-day cardiac clearance for community clinics by AI triage and nurse review so that 90% of patients receive treatment within 48 hours. Silence fell. Suddenly, meetings changed. They could tell which projects belonged and which were pretty distractions. Sales stopped inventing features. Compliance guarded the nurse review, not as a blocker, but as the sacred how. Speed increased because the destination stopped shifting. Write this down. The clearer the where, the kinder the no. Now, the vision stack, 4 layers that lock your future in place. Purpose, picture, path, proof. Purpose is why. It answers the ache. Why must we go there now? Tie it to a human pain and a holy timing. David didn't fight Goliath for sport. There was a national insult to remove. Purpose ignites courage when friction rises. Picture is what it looks like. Can you paint the destination so vividly your people can sketch it on a napkin? Describe a future scene. Who is helped? What is different? What they say about you. God showed Abraham the stars. Picture. Path is how we'll move. 3 big rocks. Sequence. Constraints. And the non-negotiables of your approach. This is the step order and the gate you will not violate. Proof is how we'll know. Select 3 measures that will testify without you testifying. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them, Matthew 7:16. Not by their forecast. Measures turn wish into will. Purpose fuels. Picture focuses. Path guides. Proof governs. Say it with me. Purpose, picture, path, proof. Practice is how we install. First, craft a 9-word North Star statement that anyone can repeat. 9 words. Not 11. Not 25, 9. Compress the charter into a rallying cry. Same-day cardiac clearance for clinics, nurse-backed, AI-fast, 4-8-hour treatment. That's 9. Clarity for founders, weekly promises kept. Momentum rising, revenue compounding. 9. Test it on a 12-year-old. If they frown, you're still foggy. Second, anchor the next 90 days with a concrete vision sprint that forces the picture into progress. A 9-0 day vision anchor sounds like this. By June 30, deliver same-day clearance in 3 clinics. Hit 90% 4-8-hour treatment for 300 patients. Publish results. Or by quarter's end, every rep can explain our value in 30 seconds. And our top segment converts at 28%. Write this down. Long-term vision dies without short-term evidence. Give your future a quarterly date. Now rehearse it until the room can say it without you. Say it at the start of every meeting. Put it on walls your eyes can't avoid. Ask random people to recite the 9 words and the 9-0 day anchor. Reward those who say it in their own words and still mean the same thing. This is not childish, it's leadership. God repeated his covenant to Isaac, then to Jacob. Same content, different generation. Repetition is kingdom technology. Say it with me. We say it until we see it. Diagnose the blind spots. Busy without breakthrough means you confuse motion with movement. Dueling priorities mean the picture is fuzzy or the path is undefined. Initiative friction means no one knows the non-negotiables. They are afraid to commit because tomorrow you may change your mind. Dependency on charisma means vision is lodged in a personality, not in the people. Write this down. If the mission only moves when the anointed speaks, your vision is idolatry, not leadership. Ephesians 4 says, gifts equip the body to do the work. True vision decentralizes energy. It makes no one and everyone possible. The moment the room repeats the North Star without looking down, the vision function is returning to health. Guard your eyes. The world will parade power in front of you. Followers, headlines, applause. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going. The serpent offered Jesus all the kingdoms in a moment. He refused power without purpose. So must you. Before you celebrate influence, interrogate destination. Where? Why now? With what picture? By what path? Proven by what fruit? These questions are your shield against vanity projects and charisma addiction. Finally, decree this over your team. Vision is more important than leadership because vision defines leadership. We will not tolerate fog. We will not worship titles. We will write the vision, we will make it plain, and we will run. Say it with me. Purpose, picture, path, proof. 9 words, 90 days. Clarity of destination eliminates confusion. Until everyone sees it, no one can lead it. Now, put it in writing. Put it in mouths. Put it on calendars. And watch the friction fall like scales from blind eyes. When they see it, they will run. And when they run together, velocity will finally mean arrival. Now we turn gift into fruit. Write this down. Value is leadership you can measure. Make your team's fruit undeniable. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. not by their busyness, not by their slogans. Fruit is the evidence that your gift has entered a human life and changed it for the better. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Why? Because fruit attracts. People are magnets to value. When your gift becomes fruit, you won't have to beg anyone to come. They will find you because you fed them. Let me define value with surgical clarity. Value is the outcome your customer receives, not the task you perform. Write it down. Outcomes over activities. If you count emails sent, hours logged, code committed, meetings attended, those are activities. The market is not hungry for your effort, it is hungry for results. Jesus multiplied bread. The outcome was fullness. He opened blind eyes. The outcome was sight. John 6:26 exposes motive. You seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were filled. Fullness is value. Who is your hungry person? What fullness do you create? Name it. If you cannot name it, you cannot price it, you cannot protect it, and you cannot repeat it. Write this down and put it where your team can see it daily. Value has a chain. Discover, design, deliver, demonstrate. Say it with me. Discover, design, deliver, demonstrate. This is your worksheet. Discover is insight. It is the discipline of listening until the person's real pain is revealed. Proverbs 20:5 says, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Your first work in value is to draw out the true problem. Don't sell a hammer to someone who needed a level. Discover means interviews, observation, data. It is the humility to admit that what you assume is not what they actually endure. Write this down. If your discovery is shallow, your solution will be theatrical. Design is solution. It is converting insight into a clear promise that a 12-year-old can understand. Promise one thing that matters, not 20 things that impress. I don't want your features. I want my problem gone. Design the path from pain to promise in pictures and steps. Simplify the journey. Remember, a map is mercy. If your design increases complexity, you didn't design, you decorated. Say it with me. Reduce to produce. Deliver is experience. It is how you hand the solution to the person with dignity, speed, and clarity. Deliver is onboarding that respects their time, interfaces that don't humiliate them, support that doesn't make them feel like a ticket number. Deliver is cadence on time, every time. Exodus 20 models rhythm, 6 days on, 1 day off. That's why I keep telling you, cadence is compassion for your future. In delivery, compassion becomes operational. Write this down. Excellence is promised delivered on time, every time. Demonstrate as proof. It is the fruit on the table that speaks without your mouth. Testimonies, before and after metrics, screenshots over time, third-party reviews. The gospel writers didn't just say Jesus could heal. They recorded names, towns, conditions, and outcomes. Proof. John 15:8 says, herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Fruit is God's advertisement. Demonstrate your fruit so that the market doesn't need your adjectives. Now, let's put numbers where our mouths are. Write this down. The metrics that matter are retention, referrals, repeat use, and realized outcomes. Retention asks, do they stay? People do not keep what is useless. Referrals asks, do they tell others without being bribed? True value turns customers into evangelists. Repeat use asks, do they come back because the experience fits their life? Not because of discounts, but because of design. Realized outcomes ask, did the promised transformation actually happen and persist over time? Show me the blood pressure numbers, the sales lift, the cycle time reduction, the anxiety drop, the graduation rates, evidence over effort. Say it with me. Effort is noble. Evidence is leadership. I sat with a nonprofit drowning in activity. Photos of events, piles of receipts, volunteers exhausted. But the neighborhood metrics hadn't changed in 3 years. I told them, heaven does not anoint confusion, and donors do not fund motion without result. We installed the value chain. Discover door-to-door interviews revealed that job readiness wasn't the problem. Transportation was. Design one route, 3 time slots, prepaid cards, and child care at pickup points. Deliver text-based scheduling, 5-minute windows honored, drivers trained to serve, not just drive. Demonstrate weekly dashboards with attendance retention, job start rates, and 9 zero-day employment outcomes. In 12 weeks, realized outcomes tripled. Same budget, same people. New value clarity. Fruit shut the mouths of critics. Write this down. Stop selling hours. Sell outcomes. Outcomes buy sustainability. Now, bring it back to identity and deployment. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Value is your gift at work. So design roles to showcase gifts that create value. Do not seek people by seniority. Seek them by fruit. Who consistently discerns the real problem under the presenting problem. Give them discover. Who can turn confusion into a one-page map? Give them design. Who makes people feel safe while moving fast? Give them deliver. Who loves numbers and stories and can capture proof without vanity? Give them demonstrate. Write this down. Seek by gift, measure by fruit, reward by evidence. And let me pass to you for a moment. Stop tolerating roles that do not produce measurable value. Leadership is born when toleration ends. If a process exists only because it is old, bury it. If a meeting exists only because someone is insecure, cancel it. If a report exists without influencing a decision, delete it. Jesus spoke to a barren fig tree that wore leaves but bore no fruit, and he cursed it, Mark 11:13. Leaves are show. Fruit is substance. Do not build a culture of leaves. Who owns the value function? In context, no one. And one person may steward the orchestration, but value is produced when gifts interlock. The handoff between discover and design must be clean. The baton from design to deliver must be timed. The loop from deliver to demonstrate must be closed quickly. So proof fuels vision and funds velocity. Write this down. Value is the hinge between vision and velocity. It feeds trust. Trust funds speed. Some of you ask, how do we start by Monday? Get a whiteboard and draw 4 columns. Discover, design, deliver, demonstrate. Under each, write names, cadences, and 2 measures. For discover, schedule weekly customer conversations and track insights captured and problem clarity score. For design, track promise clarity and friction steps removed. For deliver, track on-time delivery rate and time to first value. For demonstrate, track outcome deltas and testimonial count. Then make one decision. What will we stop doing this week that does not increase retention, referrals, repeat use, or realized outcomes? Kill it. Honor your future. Let me give you scripture to carry this courage. Proverbs 18:16. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Your gift is value in seed form. Fruit is that gift served consistently under pressure. When fruit shows up, rooms open, boards listen, markets move, titles become decorations on the tree. The fruit is why they came. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your assignment is to turn your gift into value and your value into fruit. Say it with me. My gift will become fruit. My fruit will speak. My evidence will lead. Finally, make a vow. We will measure leadership by fruit, not furniture. We will design seats around gifts and outcomes. We will stop counting tasks and start counting transformations. We will operate our value chain with cadence until our proof is undeniable. And when people ask, how did you grow? You will say, we stopped chasing followers. We started feeding people. Fruit did the rest. Let me take you to Germany for a moment. I was on the Autobahn for the first time. No posted speed limit in certain stretches. My driver looked at me. I looked at the horizon. He pressed the pedal. Basher, Iba Asher, Iba Wusher. The world began to whisper 170. My mind started praying. My hands started sweating. And the car was calm, straight, engine singing. There was life after 170. Write this down. Most of your limits are mental, not mechanical. The car was designed for it. My belief wasn't. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your heart sets the governor long before your engine does. Your team doesn't need more horsepower yet. It needs a new heart speed. Velocity begins in belief. If you believe speed is dangerous, you will design delays and baptize them as due diligence. If you believe speed is sloppy, you will celebrate busyness and call it excellence. Hear me. That all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40 is not an excuse for sluggishness. It is an invitation to cadence. Order is the technology of safe speed. Write this down. Cadence is compassion for your future. It is love expressed as rhythm. It is the Sabbath principle applied to your operations anointed timing that prevents emergency lifestyles. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. If you are serious about velocity, stop tolerating slow approvals, invisible cues, and unowned blockers. These are the demons of delay. I have seen million-dollar teams kneel before a $12 signature trapped in an inbox. That is not warfare. That is weak design. Hebrews 12:1 says, let us lay aside every weight. Not just sin weights. Weights are tolerated frictions. Write this down. Increase speed by removing tolerated friction. Your future is bleeding through polite bottlenecks you call process. How do we generate velocity without chaos? We install rules like the Autobahn. Freedom with discipline. Speed with courtesy. Power with lanes. On the Autobahn, there is no limit in places, but there are laws. Keep right except to pass. Signal early. Maintain your machine. Watch your mirrors. That's why there is order at high speed. Translate that to your team with a cadence toolkit. First, weekly sprint goals. One sentence, one outcome, 1 week. This week, we will release feature X to 30 beta users and collect 25 responses. This week, we will close 5 renewals from the top tier. Not work on, not make, progress, ship, or measure. Write this down. A week without a shipped outcome is a sermon with no altar call. Declare it Monday. Review it Friday. If you can't frame it, you can't finish it. Second, work in progress limits. Work in progress must be capped. The lion doesn't chase 10 gazelles. It picks one with conviction. If every person has 8 tickets open, no one is hunting. Set limits by the lane. Designers, 2 in progress. Engineers, 1 complex, 1 simple. Sales, 3 active deals beyond proposal. When the lane is full, you finish before you fetch. Write this down. Focus is speed. Multitasking is multiple trips to the same ditch. Third, make blockers visible and owned. Invisible cues are silent killers. Put your work on a wall or board where the whole tribe can see. Anything that is blocked turns red. The person who is blocked writes the blocker in a complete sentence, names the owner of the unblock, and assigns a due time. Not a due date, a due time. 2 p.m. today. If a blocker sits longer than 24 hours, it escalates automatically. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Blockers are blindness. Shine light fast. Write this down. Unowned blockers are tolerated blindness. Fourth, define done and shrink your batches. Done must mean in the user's hands, documented, measured, and reversible if needed. Not 90% coded. Not waiting on QA. Not sent to legal. Jesus didn't say it is almost finished. He said it is finished, John 19:30. Your culture needs that sentence. And keep batches small. Anything that takes longer than 5 working days to ship, split it. Small batches reduce risk, increase learning, and accelerate trust. Big batches build bonfires of delay. Fifth, protect daily 1-5-minute syncs to God flow. Stand up, same time, same place, same questions. What did I ship since yesterday? What is the next item of value I will ship today? What is blocking me? And who owns removing it by when? Not a storytelling circle, not a status worship service, a flow check. If a topic requires more than 2 minutes, park it for after. Write this down. Meetings protect flow when they have purpose, time box, and teeth. 6. Install recovery rituals. The righteous fall 7 times and rise again. Proverbs 24-16. Great teams are not those who never slip. They are those who recover quickly and learn. When a delivery misses or a defect hits, run a blameless retro within 48 hours. 5 questions. What did we aim to do? What happened? What helped? What hurt? What one change will prevent this again? Then write the change into your cadence. Repentance is not crying. Repentance is changing your mind and method. Say it with me. We recover fast. We learn faster. Who is responsible for speed? In the engine, no one and everyone. So in your team, no one and everyone. Velocity is a shared stewardship. The handoff is holy. If you throw work over a wall, you just designed a ditch. Appoint a flow steward, not a boss. A servant to watch the lanes, call out blockers, protect work in progress limits, and coach the culture into rhythm. The Apostle Paul wrote, the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. 1 Corinthians 12:21. The eye sets the target. The hand executes. The elbow is the handoff. Honor the elbow or lose the punch. Let me give you numbers to watch, because fruit must speak. Lead time. How long from request to delivery? Cycle time. How long from start to finish once work begins? Throughput. How many finished items per week that meet done? Recovery time. How fast you return to standard after a hit. Keep these 4 on a wall. Celebrate when they improve. Ask why when they stall. Write this down. What you measure, you will mind. What you mind, you will master. I advised the media team drowning in final edits. Velocity felt like sin to them. We drew lanes. Set work in progress limits to 2 per editor. Defined done as published with caption and analytics tag. And created a 1-5-minute daily flow check. We also established a 2-hour fast lane window each day for urgent pieces with a visible cap of 1. In 30 days, lead time dropped from 12 days to 4. Error rates fell by half. No one worked longer. They worked clearer. There was life after 170. Their car could always do it. Their culture finally believed it. Now, confront your tolerated friction. Slow approvals. Create a same-day decision, SLA. If a decision owner cannot decide in 24 hours, the team executes the default rule. Invisible queues, put every request where everyone can see it. No private backlogs. Unowned blockers, assign a name and a time. Endless work, cap work in progress and enforce it with love and a whistle. Bloated batches, split them. Drifting days, time box your rituals and keep them sacred. This is not cruelty. It is kindness to your future self. Cadence is compassion. Lift your voice and make a vow over your culture. Say it with me. We move fast and we finish clean. We shift small and learn large. We make blockers visible and we own removing them. We honor the handoff. Our meetings protect flow. Our speed is safe because our order is sacred. Again, we move fast and we finish clean. That is not hype. That is holiness in operations. Finally, write this down and carve it where your eyes can't avoid it. Increase speed by removing tolerated friction. Not by whipping people, not by slogans, by lanes, by limits, by visible truth, by shared stewardship, by short cycles that stack into long-term trust. Set your cadence today, daily. 15, weekly, sprint, bi-weekly, review, monthly, retro, and defend it like oxygen. When belief shifts, behavior follows. When cadence holds, velocity compounds. And when velocity compounds, your destination stops being a dream and starts being a date on your calendar. There is life after 170 for your team, for your gift, for your assignment. Now press the pedal with wisdom, keep your lanes, and watch what God designed your engine to do. Now let's make no one and everyone Operational, write this down. Clarity beats seniority. Own the outcome, earn the influence. Say it with me. Own the outcome, earn the influence. In the engine bay, the spark plug doesn't outrank the crankshaft. It owns ignition. A $4 wire doesn't take orders from the piston. It owns connectivity. Who's the leader? No one and everyone. That's not chaos. That's 1 Corinthians 12, one body, many parts, each part supplying. Romans 12:6 says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Use them, deploy them, not for titles, for fruit. So I would roll charters by function. Write this down. Each person is the CEO of their function. Authority equals responsibility equals visibility. A charter is 1 page. Do not write me a novel. 4 lines only. 1. Outcome you own. Expressed as fruit, not tasks. 2. Decisions you own within that function. Interfaces you manage upstream inputs and downstream outputs. 4. Measures and cadence you report without being asked. Example, discover CEO charter, outcome, problem clarity, score 9/10 for top segment weekly. Decisions. Which interviews to run, which insights enter the backlog, interfaces, input from support logs, output to design as a plain language problem statement with ranked panes, measures, insights captured per week, percentage of designs that succeed first pass. Cadence, Tuesday, insight review, Friday, share out. 1 page, stick it on the wall. If your authority is bigger than your responsibility, you will become a bully. If your responsibility is bigger than your authority, you will become a victim. Write this down. Balance the triangle. Authority, responsibility, visibility. If you own it, you decide it, and you show it. Now, decision rights and the democracy of noise. Write this down. Decisions are assigned by function, not by fame. Build a decision rights matrix that names 4 roles per decision. Decide, advise, execute, inform. Simple. Don't bring me acronyms. Bring me clarity. Pricing example. Vision decides segment and positioning guardrails. Value decides the offer, structure, and price points within guardrails. Velocity advises on capacity and delivery impact. Finance advises on margin. Sales executes the price in the field. Everyone else is informed. Who can veto? Only the functional owner of that decision inside their lane. If a disagreement persists, it escalates to the interlock of functions, not to the tallest title in the building. Proverbs 11:14 says, in the multitude of counselors there is safety, but it still needs a driver. Counsel is advised. Someone must decide. Write this down. If everyone is deciding, no one is responsible. Handoff protocol is your mercy. Remember the baton. If the baton hits the ground, the race is lost, even if everyone is fast. Define inputs, outputs, and quality gates between vision, value, and velocity. From vision to value, input is a 1-sentence charter and a 9-word North Star plus a current why now and target person. Quality gate. Can a 12-year-old explain the where and why in one breath? If not, do not proceed. From value to velocity, input is a promise statement, the smallest valuable slice, acceptance criteria, and definition of ready. Quality gate. Can we deliver this slice in 2 weeks with dignity and proof? If not, cut the slice smaller. From velocity back to value, output is delivered experience, telemetry, and customer feedback. Quality gate. Time to first value met, retention signal rising. If not, adjust the design. From value back to vision. Output is outcome. Deltas and stories that refine direction. Habakkuk 2:2, write it plain so he may run. The gates keep you from sprinting into a ditch. Write this down. Fuzzy in, friction out, clear in, flow out. Meanings must serve the flow, not your ego. And status theater. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by their slides. Redesign 3 meanings and cancel the rest. Stand up for flow 15 minutes daily. 3 questions only. What valuable slice moved yesterday? Where is flow blocked? What is the next most valuable slice today? No storytelling. No problem autopsies. If a topic exceeds 2 minutes, park it. Reviews for value weekly or bi-weekly. Demonstrate outcomes, not activity. Show me time to first value, retention, referrals, realize outcomes. Invite customers when possible. If you cannot show fruit, show what you learned that will produce fruit next. Previews for vision bi-weekly before a new cycle. Reinstall the North Star in one breath. Present the 3 big rocks. Confirm non-negotiables and quality gates. Vision is more important than leadership because it defines what to do next. If a meeting ends without a decision or a date, it was a service to vanity. Write this down. Rituals protect what rhetoric cannot. Conflict will come. Peacemakers are not peacekeepers. They are function keepers. Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers. Here is the rule. Escalate to the function, not to the title. Ask, what outcome is threatened? Which function is accountable for that fruit? Let that function decide within the rights you agreed. Example. Sales promises a feature for a deal. Engineering balks. Do not run to the biggest office. Escalate to value. Is the promise inside our offer and proof? If yes, velocity sequences it. If no, value says no with kindness and offers an alternative slice that preserves fruit and cadence. Another example. Marketing wants a campaign. Vision says the segment shifted. Escalate to vision. Has the who and why now changed? If yes, stop the campaign. If no, proceed and hold marketing accountable to outcomes. Write this down. Don't ask who is bigger. Ask what fruit is at risk. Let me show you the law in the scriptures. Exodus 18. Jethro told Moses, what you are doing is not good. Select able men and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, 50s, and 10s. That wasn't rank worship. It was decision rights by function and scope. 1 Corinthians 14:40, that all things be done decently and in order. Order is not oppression. Order is oxygen. When order comes, people breathe, and work becomes worship. Implementation in 72 hours. Write this down. 1. Draft 1-page roll charters for vision, value, velocity, and their sub-functions. 4 lines each. Publish them. Build the decision rights matrix for your top 12 recurring decisions. Decide, advise, execute, inform by function. Print it, laminate it. It's a non-print. Define the handoff gates, inputs, outputs, and acceptance criteria between functions. Put them on a single card. Carry it to every meeting. 4. Reboot your meetings. Install daily stand-ups for flow. Bi-weekly reviews for fruit. Bi-weekly previews for vision. Cancel status updates that do not change decisions. Install the conflict rule on the wall. Escalate the function, not the title. Ask, what fruit is at risk? Then enforce it. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Stop tolerating ambiguity. Say it with me. Clarity beats seniority. Own the outcome. Earn the influence. Titles are furniture. Fruit is leadership. Ephesians 4 says the gifts are given for the equipping of the saints for the work of ministry. Equip your people with charters, rights, gates, and rituals, and watch how influence reallocates itself to those producing fruit. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going, what we're delivering, how fast and how often we can sustain it. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. In this house, we seek by gift, measure by fruit, reward by evidence. I decree over your team, no one and everyone, each one leading in their function. Vision clear, value compelling, velocity consistent, decency and order, courage and cadence. Write the vision, make it plain, guard the gates, keep the rhythm, and when conflict rises, ask for the fruit. The world will feel the difference. Opportunities will find you. Trust will thicken. Speed will stabilize. Because clarity beats seniority. Own the outcome, earn the influence. Now, go install it before the sun sets. Culture now. The heart of the house. Write this down. A lion heart culture believes, speaks, and behaves its way into high performance. Not by hype, not by posters, but by a belief system that turns elephants into lunch and burdens into banners of testimony. The lion is not the tallest, strongest, or heaviest in the jungle. The elephant outweighs it. The giraffe outheights it. The cheetah outspeeds it. The hyena packs it. Why does the lion rule? Attitude. When the lion sees an elephant, the eyes say elephant, but the belief says lunch. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your team will never outrun its heart. Write it down. Culture is a heart speed, not a head speech. Say it with me. I am a lion. I carry weight because my heart believes. Again, I am a lion. I carry weight because my heart believes. A lion heart gives you courage for an elephant workload. Many of you are managing elephants' regulations, deadlines, integrations, payroll, customers, crises. The issue is not the elephant. The issue is your attitude toward it. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Power is capacity. Love is motive. Sound mind is method. Put those three together and you create a culture that carries weight without complaint. Write this down. Attitude multiplies ability. But courage is not chaos. Boldness needs boundaries. Psychological safety is not coddling, it's clarity. Courage grows where expectations are explicit and errors are data. If your people don't know what done means, you just planted fear. If they think failure brings shame, you just recruited silence. Ephesians 4:15 says, speaking the truth in love, we may grow up. Truth is clarity, love is safety. Growth requires both. In this house, we make expectations public, and when we miss, we convert errors into education. James 5:16 says, confess your faults one to another and pray one for another that ye may be healed. Confession creates healing. Operationally, confession creates learning. Write this down. Errors are data, not drama. Let me pass to the room. Detox from the crowd. Jesus didn't trust crowds. John 2:24 says, but Jesus did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men. Crowds cheer on Sunday, crucify on Friday. They are impressed by power, not committed to purpose. Do not build your culture for the uncommitted. Gideon started with 32,000. God trimmed it to 300. Judges 7. Why? Because culture is carried by the few who believe. I love numbers, but I don't trust crowds. My real love is people like you who say, give me the weight. Write this down. We design for the committed and we welcome the rest to grow into commitment. Stop calibrating your standards to avoid losing the uninterested. Set the standard. Keep the covenant. The right people will lean in. Now, normalize candor. Say it with me. We tell the truth fast. You cannot drive at high speed with secrets in the engine. Remember my $4 wire. A tiny terminal fault can shut an entire car down. In a Lionheart culture, naming the $4 wire is not shame, it's stewardship. Problems are guests, escort them out. Not roommates, guests. Ephesians 4:26 says, be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. In operations, that means name the problem before sundown and assign an owner to escort it out. Matthew 18 teaches us to go to our brother directly. That's not cruelty, that's love in motion. Write this down. We attack problems, not people. We repair systems, not reputations. This is how we behave it into being. We define done so clearly that no one guesses. We celebrate confession because it accelerates correction. We run blameless reviews within 48 hours because learning is fresh then. We practice directness with dignity. We install role clarity without ranks. Who owns this outcome? No one. And everyone. One steward coordinates. Each gift leads in its lane. The handoff is holy. We bless the elbow because without the elbow, the fist never lands. Say it with me. The world needs my gift. Our team needs my function. Again, the world needs my gift. Our team needs my function. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Write this down. Safety is built by promises kept and consequences known. When people know exactly what excellence looks like, when they see leaders own their own misses first, when feedback is regular, specific, and kind, courage blooms. They take bigger swings because the net is instruction, not humiliation. Romans 8:1 says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus. Condemnation paralyzes, conviction propels. Build a house of conviction, sharp standards, soft landings, quick rebounds. The righteous fall 7 times and rise again. Proverbs 24:16. A Lionheart culture rises again, not by pretending it never fell, but by learning how to stand faster. Let me show you the fruit of this attitude. A product team I served had a culture of silence. Bugs hid like roaches when the light was off. Releases were late. Trust was low. We changed the creed. Truth fast. Fix forward. We posted done publicly. We scheduled red minutes daily where anyone could raise a claw and say, I think we have a $4 wire. No shame. Immediate triage. Within 6 weeks, defect escape rate dropped 40% and time to restore cut in half. No new head count. Same elephant. New lion, hearts. Write this down. Candor compounds. Secrecy explodes. Detox, the applause addiction. Stop bragging about followers. Start boasting in fruit. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by their virality. We are not building a fan club. We are building an engine room. Titles are secondary to functions. Functions are measured by fruit. Lift your voice and decree it. We honor gifts by outcomes. We protect courage with clarity. We speak the truth in love. We confess fast. We repair systems. We honor the handoff. We carry elephants with lion hearts. Today, prune what insults your future. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Kill the meeting that produces no decision. Retire the report that informs no action. Confront the behavior that corrodes trust. If it doesn't serve vision, value, or velocity, it's leaf without fig. Jesus cursed leaves with no fruit. Mark 11:13. Do not host leaves, cultivate fruit. Say it with me. Our belief is bold. Our speech is straight. Our behavior is consistent. We are safe because we are clear. We are fast because we are ordered. We carry weight because our hearts believe. Write this down and seal it over your culture. A Lionheart house thinks courage, speaks truth, and behaves discipline. That trinity births performance. Your elephants are about to become testimonies, not terrors. Deploy your gift into your function with integrity. Guard the standards with love. Celebrate the few who carry the weight and watch the many transform under their example. Purpose has set your direction. Value is feeding your trust. Velocity is compounding your momentum. Now let culture make it durable. The world needs your gift. Your team needs your function. No one and everyone carry the weight, roar with wisdom, and move the mission like a pride on the hunt. Now we tune the engine. We have lanes, we have gates, we have decision rights. But hear me, the engine does not stay in tune by good intentions. Write this down. Rituals protect what rhetoric cannot cadence, keeps the engine in tune. Say it with me. Cadence keeps the engine in tune. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order is the mercy that makes speed safe. First ritual, the weekly vision minute, 60 seconds, not 61. One leader, any leader, stands and restates our 9-word North Star and this week's focus in one breath. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. We will not perish from drift. We will not die of ambiguity. The vision minute is oxygen. Formatted like this. 1, who we serve. 2, what we promise. 3, why now. 4, this week's one rock. This week we exist to deliver 9 words for this person. Because this reason, therefore we will ship one name slice by day. Then everyone repeats the 9-word star out loud. Vision is more important than leadership because it defines the next right thing. Who's the leader of the Vision Minute? No one. And everyone rotate the voice. Let the designer speak one week, the support lead the next. It is a test and a tonic. If they cannot say it, they cannot see it. If they cannot see it, they cannot lead it. Write this down. Until everyone sees it, no one can lead it. Keep a visible timer. At 60 seconds, you sit down. Toleration is the graveyard of leaders. Don't tolerate drift in the first minute of your week. Second ritual, the velocity check daily. 15 minutes, stand up, same time, same place, same 3 questions. 1, what valuable slice did I move to done since yesterday? What is the next smallest atom of value I remove today? What blocks me? Who owns removing it by what time today? Not tomorrow, today. You show your work in progress limits like a badge. If your lane is full, you finish before you fetch. You verify handoffs. Upstream ready, downstream ready, baton in the hand, not in the air. If a topic needs more than 2 minutes, park it to protect the flow. Hebrews 12:1. Let us lay aside every weight. Blockers are weights. Write this down. Unnamed blockers are tolerated blindness. Put blockers in red with a name and a time. If the owner does not move by the time, you escalate to the function, not to the title. Say it with me. Escalate to function, not to title. The daily is not a storytelling circle. It is a flow check. It is the Autobahn in your office. Freedom with lanes, speed with courtesy, power with discipline. If you hit 16 minutes, you are in sin against your future. Repent by changing your method. We move fast and we finish clean. Third ritual, value, Demo Friday. Show the fruit. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by their busyness, not by their charisma, by their fruit. Every Friday, same hour. Customers present if possible, or at least their voices, video, quotes, screen shares, metrics on the wall, time to first value, retention signal, NPS, renewals, referrals, outcome deltas. No slides without outcomes. Demos must show before and after. Here is what the person could do on Monday. Here is what they can do today because of us. If you did not ship fruit, you show learning that will produce fruit. Next one page, one pivot, one promise for the next cycle. Jesus did not say it is almost finished. He said it is finished. John 19:30. This ritual installs that sentence into your culture. Write this down. Value is leadership you can measure. Let the quiet fruit bearers speak. Influence will reallocate itself to those producing results. Honor testimonies. A skeptical client became a champion in one of my teams when a Friday demo turned a complaint into a case study. She walked in with folded arms and left saying, I can finally do my job. That sentence is leadership. Capture it, play it, multiply it. Fourth ritual, the monthly system review. This is when we lift the hood and look for the $4 wires. Where did a tiny part produce a major shutdown? Where did a small ambiguity cause a big delay? What changed because of us, not because of luck, not because of noise, because of design? You put 4 numbers on the wall every month. Lead time, cycle time, throughput, recovery time. You looked them in the eyes. You asked, what improved? Why? What stalled? Why? Then you trace root causes with discipline. You do not attack people, you attack friction. If a decision took 7 days because we were waiting on legal, you change the decision rights, or you set an SLA, or you pre-approved templates. If a handoff failed because definition of ready was fuzzy, you rewrite the gate. If quality dipped because work in progress limits were violated, you reinstall the limit with teeth. Exodus 18 shows Jethro telling Moses to design decision flow so the people would go home satisfied. That is a system outcome. Write this down. Systems create behavior. Reviews reform systems. Ask and answer this one holy question every month. What changed because of us? Fifth ritual, the quarterly commitment. 90 days, 3 outcomes, 3 experiments, 3 risks to remove. Repeat. Outcomes are fruit expressed in evidence. Increase activation to 60% in segment A. Reduce lead time from 10 days to 6. Win 3 lighthouse customers in market B. Experiments are the bets we will run to learn fast. 2 pricing A, Bs, 1 onboarding slice with concierge support, a partner co-sell trial. Risks are the lions we will refuse to feed in secret. Single point of failure in deployment. Compliance gap in data retention. Dependency on one enterprise account. You write them on one page and sign it as a tribe. Habakkuk 2, write the vision, make it plain, so he may run who reads it. Then you break the 90 days into 13 weekly sprints. The weekly vision minute aligns the crew. The daily velocity check moves the train. The demo Friday proves the fruit. The monthly review tunes the engine. The quarterly commitment sets the destination for the next stretch. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season. The Greeks called it kairos, appointed time. Write this down. Commitments without cadence are wishes. Cadence without commitments is motion sickness. Now, schedule them before you negotiate them. Put them on the calendar like appointments with your destiny. Monday, 9 a.m. vision minute. Monday to Thursday, 9:05 a.m. velocity check. Friday, 3 p.m. value demo. First Tuesday of the month, system review. First week of the quarter, commitment summit. Guard them like oxygen. If a sales call arrives, you delegate representation. You do not delete the ritual. If the CEO is traveling, they send a voice note for the vision minute. They do not cancel clarity. Psalm 90:12 says, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Number your rituals and you will apply wisdom to your work. Rules inside the rituals keep them alive. Write this down. Every ritual has a leader, a time box, and a transcript. The leader is a servant to the purpose, not a performer. The time box is a covenant with the future. The transcript is the evidence that becomes memory. 1 page for each ritual. What we said, what we decided, who owns what by when. Store them where eyes can find them. Review transcripts in your monthly system review to see if you are doing what you said. Consistency compounds into trust, and trust compounds into speed. Who's the leader of these rituals? No one. And everyone. The vision minute rotates because sight is a communal stewardship. The daily is owned by the flow steward, but served by all. The Friday demo is hosted by value, but fueled by velocity and verified by vision. The monthly review is chaired by the one who loves systems enough to say no to noise. The quarterly is convened by the senior most steward of direction, but every gift speaks. Romans 12:6. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Use them in rhythm. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Stop tolerating drift at the beginning of the week. Stop tolerating blindness every day. Stop tolerating vanity on Fridays. Stop tolerating invisible frictions every month. Stop tolerating vague ambitions every quarter. Say with me, rituals protect what rhetoric cannot. Again, cadence keeps the engine in tune. I decree that when you install these rituals, order will liberate speed, fruit will silence titles, and peace will replace panic. There will be life after 170 because your lanes will make speed safe. Write the vision, make it plain, guard the minutes, keep the rhythm, and let the world know you by your fruit. 90 days, write this down. In 90 days, a team can change its destiny by changing what it leads. Vision, value, velocity, not titles. Not theater, function, fruit, flow. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Ephesians 5:16. I walked a stalled product group through this very path. Late releases, sagging trust, customer churn, whispering at the door. We didn't add headcount. We didn't buy a new tool. We changed what we led. Say it with me. Change what you lead. Change what you become. Week 1 and 2, vision reset. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish, or in operations, the people wander. We began with a 1-sentence charter and a 9-word North Star. 1 sentence, plain enough for a 12-year-old. Write this down. If your future can't be said in one breath, it cannot be led in one house. Their charter became, help small retailers turn first-time buyers into loyal fans. 9-word North Star. First value in 7 minutes. Trust earned every visit. Then we killed 2 zombie projects, those dead on the inside tasks still eating your calendar. Jesus found a fig tree with leaves but no fruit and said, "No man eat fruit of thee hereafter." Mark 11:14. We repeated his courage. We cut a legacy integration no segment asked for and a vanity dashboard no decision used. The room went quiet, then lighter. Write this down. Clarity subtracts before it multiplies. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. They wrote it, they ran. Week 3 and 4. Value, refocus. Matthew 7:16. By their fruits you shall know them, not by features. We named 3 customer outcomes only. 1, time to first value under 7 minutes. 2, first repeat purchase within 14 days. 3, referral signal by day 30. Then we defined proof metrics for each, telemetry and testimony. Proof means a number and a story in the same breath. Write this down. If you can't prove it, you didn't deliver it. We launched a weekly demo ritual open to customers, a living altar of evidence. No slides, show the experience. End each demo with 2 questions. Did we reduce your time to first value? Did we earn another visit? We installed an outcome scoreboard visible to all and retired activity reports that impressed no one. Within 2 weeks, conversation shifted from what did we build to what outcome moved. That's repentance in operations turning from works to fruit. Week 5 and 6, velocity lift. The question was not go faster, but remove tolerated friction. Write this down. Speed increases when drag decreases. We set work in progress limits no more than 3 slices in motion per squad. If a 4th appeared, we parked it until something finished. We installed decision rights by function. Vision decides who and why. Value decides the promise and proof. Velocity decides the sequence and capacity. Counsel everywhere. Veto in function. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Then we built a blocker board, public and merciless. If flow paused beyond a day, a red card appeared with owner and next step by sundown. Matthew 18 says, go to your brother. The blocker board made it normal to go now. Stand-ups change. What valuable slice moved yesterday? What's blocked? What's next? 2 minutes per person. No autobiography. Write this down. Cadence is compassion for your future. The Autobahn of work opened not by flooring the pedal, but by clearing the lane. Week 7 through 9, role charters. No ranks. Roles. Say it with me. No one and everyone. Each function leads in its lane. Every person wrote a CEO or function brief. 1 page, 4 lines. Outcome owned. Decisions owned. Interfaces managed. Measures and cadence reported. They read them aloud. We refined in the room. And then they signed public covenant. Authority match responsibility, match visibility. If you own it, you decide it and you show it. Romans 12:6 says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Use them. We reminded them, your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. And when your work meets your function, leadership emerges without a title. Toleration ended. Victimhood evaporated. The shy designer stood taller. I own first click clarity. The quiet analyst spoke with authority. I own retention signal validation. The body began to supply each joint its strength. Ephesians 4:16. Week 10 through 12, system review. We went hunting for 2 $4 wires, tiny faults shutting big engines. James 5:16, confess your faults one to another that ye may be healed. Operational confession heals systems. We ran blameless retros every 2 weeks, 5 whys until root. The first $4 wire was a hidden dependency. Legal reviewer promotional copy delayed every release by 3 days. We drafted reusable templates, created pre-approved phrases, and moved legal review upstream. 3 days returned overnight. The second $4 wire was a silent handoff. Support tickets that contained gold never reached design. We created a one-click insight route with a 12-word summary rule and a Tuesday insight review at 9 a.m. sharp. Within a week, pattern surface that doubled our first pass design success. Write this down. Tiny truths remove massive toil. By day 90, the fruit spoke. Cycle time down 35%. What took 23 days now took 15. Retention up 12%, customers coming back unprompted because they felt value early and often. Morale up 18 points. Fewer sighs, more songs. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going. They were going somewhere now, together. No heroics, no hype. Just vision named, value proved, velocity protected. The same elephant workload, but lion hearts carrying it. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Their belief changed first, then their behavior, then their business. Now it's your turn. Write this down as your 90-day map. Weeks 1-2, write the one-sentence charter and 9-word North Star. Kill 2 zombie projects publicly. Weeks 3-4, name 3 customer outcomes, define the proof, and start the weekly demo altar. Weeks 5-6, install, work in progress limits, decision rights by function, and a visible blocker board. Week 7-9, publish CEO function charters, read and sign them in the open. Weeks 10-12, run system reviews, remove 2 $4 wires, and report the fruit. Rituals protect what rhetoric cannot. Guard the cadence, guard the gates, guard the handoff. Say it with me. In 90 days, destiny shifts because we lead vision, value, velocity. Again, in 90 days, destiny shifts because we lead vision, value, velocity. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Stop waiting for rank. Deploy your gift into your function. Write the vision. Make it plain. Measure the fruit. Protect the flow. And when you feel the old fear tap your shoulder, answer with order. When the crowd tempts you with applause, answer with outcomes. When the elephant stomps, answer with a lion heart. The world needs your gift. Your team needs your function. No one and everyone. Now go start week 1 before the sun goes down. Leadership is born when toleration ends. This is the moment, not next quarter, not after promotion. Now you have rituals, you have lanes, you have the map. So here your assignment. Deploy yourself. Deploy your team. Stop waiting for rank. Stop begging for permission. Stop praying about what you are tolerating. Act. God said to Moses at the sea, why are you crying to me? Tell the people to move forward. Exodus 14:15. Forward is a function, not a title. Write this down. Destiny responds to deployment, not to discussion. You were created to lead and designed to dominate within your function today. Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our image and let them have dominion. Dominion is not domination of people. It is rulership over your assignment. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job may be manager, associate, analyst. Your work is vision or value or velocity. Say it with me. Titles don't perform, functions do. Again, titles don't perform, functions do. Who's the leader of this house? No one and everyone. Write it down. Leadership is born when toleration ends. End it tonight. Here is your 7-day deployment plan. Day 1 tonight, 20 minutes. Draft role charters for every person in the tribe, starting with you. 1 page per person. Keep it sacred and simple. Name, primary function, vision, value or velocity, purpose, sentence, why this function exists here. 3 outcomes for the next 12 weeks. Decision rights may decide, must consult, must inform. Boundaries won't do, won't start without. 2 metrics you report weekly. Rituals you will lead and attend. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain, so he may run who reads it. Plain pages create running teams. If you are solo, write 3 charters, your vision hat, your value hat, your velocity hat, so you stop confusing yourself. Put initials by each outcome. Ownership births urgency. Day 2 morning run, your first vision minute, not perfect, present. State your 9-word North Star, your who, your why now, your 1 rock for this week. Then set the daily velocity check on the calendar at a fixed time. A point of flow. Steward, the one who loves finishing more than starting. If you don't have one, be one until one rises. Joshua 1-9 says, be strong and very courageous. Courage is a calendar entry with a clock attached. Schedule it, or it does not exist. Day 3, start the velocity check and make it holy. 15 minutes. Everyone answers the 3 questions. Yesterday's value, today's smallest atom of value, today's blocker with a name and a time. Turn blockers red. If no owner moves by the time, escalate to function, not to title. James 1:22. Be doers of the word and not hearers only. Doing looks like removing a $4 wire at 2 p.m., not writing a memo about it at 2 a.m. Write this down. Unremoved blockers are unrepented tolerations. Repent by replacing. Day 4, replace one bottleneck you have been hosting. Pick the smallest, loudest friction that insults your future. Replace an approval step with a pre-approved template. Replace a meeting with a to-field form. Replace a hidden dependency with a published SLA. Replace a single point of failure with a second steward. Replace mayhem with a lane. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, he that observes the wind shall not sow. Stop checking the weather of people's feelings. Sow the fix. When you move one small stone, speed explodes. There will be life after 170 because you cleared the lane. Day 5, Friday, host your first value demo. Even if the fruit is small, show it like the mustard seed it is. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16. If you ship value, prove the before and after. If you didn't, show one page of learning that guarantees fruit next week. Invite at least one voice of the customer, even a quote. Record it, transcribe it, archive it. Value is leadership you can measure. Demos, reassign influence from noise to fruit. Titles go quiet when evidence starts speaking. Day 6, Saturday, seal the commitment contract. 1 page, team name at the top. 3 outcomes for the next 12 weeks written as evidence. Activation to 60% in segment A. Lead time reduced from 10 days to 6. 3 lighthouse wins in market. Bhutan, 5 behaviors we will practice without excuse. Vision, minute on time. Daily velocity, check at 9:5. Truth, fast, no secrets in the engine. Finish before we fetch. Escalate to function, not title. The first $4 wire we will remove this week with owner and time. Sign it. All of you, hang it in the open. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Sign your works. God establishes your thoughts. Day 7, Sunday evening, prepare the next week's Vision Minute. Rotate the voice. If they can't say it, they can't see it. If they can't see it, they can't lead it. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. We will not perish on Monday. We will not die of ambiguity. Set your calendar alarms. Put grace in the gaps, but teeth in the time boxes. Then rest your mind. Tomorrow we run as one. Write this down. Replace one bottleneck this week, or you have not yet believed. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Your heart is either tolerating or transforming. Choose transforming. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Again, leadership is born when toleration ends. Now lift your voice and decree your identity. I was created to lead and designed to dominate in my function. I am a steward, not a star. I deploy my gift now. I serve my lane with excellence. I tell the truth fast. I finish before I fetch. I measure by fruit. Titles don't perform, functions do. Who's the leader? No one and everyone. I charge you like Paul charged Timothy. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1-7. Power capacity to produce fruit. Love motive to serve people. Sound mind method to sustain speed. Put them together and move. If they never give you a crown, wear your calling. If they never hand you a rank, own your role charter. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Deploy it somewhere that honors it. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going. Vision is more important than leadership because it defines the next right thing. So see it, say it, ship it. When you walk out of this room, deployment begins. Tonight, road charters. Tomorrow, vision minute and velocity check. Friday, value demo. Saturday, sign the contract. Sunday, prepare the next minute. Monday, we run again. This is not hype. This is holy. This is order. And order is the mercy that makes speed safe. The world needs your gift. Your team needs your function. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Deploy yourself. Deploy your team. And let your fruit make the introductions titles never could.